Hi everybody, welcome to my YouTube channel. It's your girl Chocolate Beauty. Today we're going to be talking about Basketball Wives. This is episode 5 on season 9. Let's get into it. Okay, so this whole beef in between Jackie and Malaysia, I felt like it was like drawn out for too long. I felt like it could have been handled a better way, and they could have squashed the beef a long time ago. And I felt like Malaysia, she had every right to feel that Jackie wasn't loyal to her in the moment of telling all of the ladies of what was going on with what this person was saying. And I just felt that Malaysia held Jackie at an accountability that she does not hold Christian. This person is friends with Christian. So the fact that she is giving Jackie such a hard time and giving Christian a pass, it just says a lot, to it. And also, I kind of feel like Malaysia really messed up when it came to listening to other people. Well, first of all, the person that you took advice from was the very same person who was laughing in Kiki when Shawnee had said that you had no substance. So you're going to listen to the person that just sat there and chuckled as Shawnee was attacking you. That's the person that you're going to take the side of. And I believe in my heart that Jackie is really friends with Malaysia, just like how Evelyn is really friends with Shawnee. So the fact that you took it upon yourself to listen to somebody who once was on that other side against you and Brandy, and you decided to take her heed, to take her advice, and step over that line and leave Jackie by herself. Was Jackie wrong with spreading the information? Yes. Was she wrong for even engaging or talking to this guy? Yes. But I still will not and cannot get over the fact that this person allegedly knows Christian and is really good friends with Christian. So you're mad at Malaysia. I mean, you're mad at Jackie for the things that she said about your kids, which it was a rumor. So she didn't actually she's not the actual source of saying that about your kids, but the person who has been allegedly running around Georgia talking about Malaysia and her children hangs out and is really good friends with her cousin Christian. So the fact that you can hold a standard, you can hold Jackie at a standard that you will not hold Christian. I mean, I will be more offended that my family member was with a person that was saying all these negative things about me and they're okay. So they get a pass. And the thing about it is, too, let's be clear. I didn't hear that the guy say to Jackie that her kids was dirty. I heard that from, actually, we all heard that statement from Christian. So the fact that she is really upset and just using these words of ammunition of why she just didn't work things out in between her and Jackie, it just says a lot, because I just feel like you allowed a person who is temporary and doesn't really care about you get in your head and make you pick another side when you should have held Jackie accountable, yes, but you should have also nipped it in the butt with Christian. You can't decide and pick and choose who you want to pick with this particular battle, because this person is allegedly really good friends with Christian. So anyway, we're moving on from that. They made up, they were able to hash things out. So I'm happy that they were able to save their relationship, because in all actuality, Jackie doesn't have anybody but Malaysia, and Malaysia doesn't have anybody but Jackie, because at the end of the day, Shawnee and Evelyn are going to be saving themselves before they save them. So they don't have nobody else outside of each other. So I'm glad that they were able to get past that, because it was just really petty what was going on with them. Okay, so these new sisters that's now on the cast is like really getting on my nerves, and I really see what the franchise is doing with them, because they are a catalyst to try to help switch switch the narrative about how the way that OG is going to be looked upon. First of all, just because you are trying to make friends and engage with these women, Nia had no right to have a discussion with Shawnee about somebody else who has a real serious issue with her. You had no right. The thing about it is that conversation is very serious, and you had no business sticking your nose into other people's business. And to be quite frank, you can't associate the hurt that OG is going through because she was criticized publicly. You may have gone through some type of racism or colorism because you are a black woman, but the thing about it is that OG is a whole nother story. And I just feel like Nia did not have no right to say anything to Shawnee, of all people. Shawnee is the boss. So I don't even know why you felt the need to share that information with Shawnee. Shawnee should be having that conversation with OG. And to be quite frank, I don't believe that you should have. The only person that could probably be able to say something like that is Jackie, because Jackie is living in the house with her, and plus she's also friends with everybody. She knows everybody. She's a friend to actually Malaysia only. I don't think that she is really good friends with. She's really good. I don't think she's really good friends with OG at all. I'm just saying. And what pissed me the heck off, I mean, I don't know if anybody else felt this way, but when Shawnee said that when Nia told her OG's childhood, that she's going to say that now that she feels that she is humanized, she can humanize OG. Excuse me? What do you mean you can humanize OG? I'm just completely blown away, because you know what? You saying that, Shawnee, shows and really says that you thought of her of something else this whole time. You thought about her in a different light this whole time. So you did not look at her as a human being. You looked at her as everything else but a human, to your own admission. I'm like, is she serious? She humanized her. Listen, lady, you will never understand the struggle of being a dark-skinned woman and being taunted because not only are you dark-skinned, but you have features that is not on the European side of beauty. I was completely blown away that you had the nerve to actually say that Nia explaining this to you humanize OG. What are you talking about? Everybody that is watching the show felt like a human connection, felt a connection to OG. So you're the only person on this planet that don't know how to humanize it, besides Evelyn, that don't know how to view OG's situation and relate to her situation on why she's feeling the way that she's feeling. And the fact that you continue to have conversations with other people besides OG shows me that you're a coward. You are a coward. You don't know how to face a person that is making you stand and look at what you are presenting to the world. You're a coward. Point blank, period. You're a coward. You're talking to Jackie. You're talking to Christian. You're talking to Nia. Why are you not having a conversation with the person that is having the issue with you? That's your new title. That's the new title that you have. Executive producer, cowardly Shawnee O'Neal. You're a coward. Anyway, so let's see. So Nia decides that she wants to share with the group that she had a previous relationship with Lance, which is Phoebe's ex boyfriend, who is also the father of her children. And it's like nobody really cares about Phoebe. I mean, she's not there. She may or may not have COVID. She's on quarantine. She's not even there. So the fact that you want to have a conversation about somebody who I believe and who most people believe is irrelevant, because I was completely shocked when she came back this season. It was just like, girl, why are you here? Nobody cares. And she was talking about certain things, and I mean, after they had that conversation, though, they called Phoebe and told her about this girl, Nia, saying that she dated her ex-boyfriend. And the things that she was saying about you, Nia, was kind of just like, whoa, like you seem like a complete weirdo. But whatever. So she tells the women that she dated Phoebe's ex, and, you know, that she's no longer with him. And, you know, she's moved on. And she brought up the very good point that Phoebe wasn't there, so there's no need to really have a conversation. And that's the whole purpose of you being there, because there needs to be some drama. Like, let me tell you something. If you weren't in a relationship with Phoebe's ex-boyfriend, you wouldn't even be on the show. So outside of Phoebe, you have no relevance. Your relevancy is next to the girl who has the least relevance on the show. She is irrelevant. Okay, so Christian in Malaysia trying to have a conversation with OG about getting to the bottom of why she feels how the way that she feels. I am so tired of every single body that is talking about this colorist issue, and the main person that she got a colorist issue is sending other people to speak on her behalf. Why do everybody feel that they need to talk to OG about how the way she feel, and they're not the main perpetrators? You're not the main perpetrator. Like, why are you talking to her? Why do Christian even continue to go back, child? Now you just coming back because you needed backup, because you went to have a conversation, Christian, with OG, and you walked away with nothing. She left you with nothing. You weren't able to resolve anything, and you're thinking that bringing Malaysia is going to change anything. Bringing Malaysia is just as the same as bringing Phoebe. And I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I was so upset how the way that Malaysia was acting, because Malaysia was one of my favorites. And believe it or not, as much as I am on this colorist conversation, I was once a fan of Evelyn's, because I loved her personality. But over the years, it's just like, girl, I need you to be better and do better. Like, you're older now. Like, come on. But Malaysia, I just really put her in a box of being different. And when she came onto Basketball Wives franchise, they actually pinpointed her talking about she was bougie and she think that she's better than everybody. Do you remember season 1 of LA? So I was extremely disappointed on the way that she really engaged with OG, and I thought that she would be the person of reason. What she tried to do during this episode, I expected of her to do it when this all went down. This all went down. That's the way that I feel. Yes, exactly. I'm reading the comments, y'all. But anyway, yeah, Shawnee is fake, and everybody in that group are bullies in some form of fashion. And they all have done things to each other. But anyway, I don't like the fact that Christian and Malaysia are inserting themselves right now, a year and a half later. I would have felt more comfortable and more better if Malaysia had this conversation with OG, because with OG last season, because it would have meant more. You saying that you don't understand how the way that she feels? She was separated from the rest of the cast during the reunion. They have never done that. The only time that you see a person that's separated from the cast is if they requested it from other shows. They just flat out did not allow her on stage. And she's wondering why OG feels different and feels separated from the group. Child. So anyway, the sisters and Jackie go back to the house, and Nia took it upon herself to tell OG that she told Shawnee about the things that she and her talked about her childhood. And right, like OG has every right to be upset because she doesn't need nobody speaking on her behalf. Because let's be clear, that's one thing that she doesn't need. She has never needed anybody to talk for her. She has never needed anybody to stand with her. She just wants you to acknowledge what you did and move on. So she doesn't need you, Nia, to be her voice. And who are you exactly? Who are you? Child. And then Nia gets upset and say, oh, it's her tone. She got a terrible tone. Like somebody speaking on something so deep, something that caused so much damage to a lot of people's lives. And you think that you're going to come on the show who we don't know we don't know who you are. You only been in the house for a day, and you took it upon yourself to have a conversation with Shawnee and expect OG not to get upset. You overstepped your bounds. And then when Nia tried to switch it and says, well, OG was asking me a bunch of questions about my ex Lance, but I can't go talk to Shawnee and try to mend the fence. Girl. Those two things are not even on the same level or even in the same plane. Like, what are you talking about? What are you talking about? Nobody cares about your relationship with Lance. What the fans are wanting to discuss is the serious, deep-rooted issues that's going on. And the fact that you're going to say, you're trying to compare you having a conversation about colorism to your ex-boyfriend who we all know him from dating K. Michelle. We don't know who Phoebe is. We don't know who you are. Let's be clear. And you can never, ever put yourself in the conversation pertaining to the issues that OG has going on. It's much deeper than you. It is over your head. And I need you to have several seats. You and your sister. Child, I was so mad at this. I was so mad at this episode, y'all. I just hate like how the way that they're going about things, and and I see it for what it is. Everybody is going to try to have the public turn against OG. So they're going to use people, and they're going to use her personality, because let's be clear, OG has a very strong personality and not a lot of people are able to take it. So because they're not able to take it, the first thing that they do is criticize her and say that she just has a horrible tone. She has a negative attitude. And speaking of negative attitude, Jennifer Williams, I need you to go back home. Why are you on this? Why did you decide to come back? Why did you come back? First of all of this energy that you're giving OG, she's a negative Nancy, she's doing this, is all about her. Girl, nobody cares about what you're going through, and nobody cares about anything that you have to say. You have a nasty disposition. Since you walked through the door talking about you don't want to talk to nobody, you ain't going to, mess with nobody, you ain't going to do this. OG is not going to, interfere with this. Shut up, girl. Shut up. Jennifer, the only reason why you said something to try to make yourself look good when Christian came over and was trying to talk to OG, you tried to make it seem and failed miserably because a lot of the fans saw through it. It took me onto the second episode to see the mess, see through the mess. Okay, you did not talk about the situation that went on in between OG and the rest of the women, and talking about aggression that had nothing to do with her and everything to do with your hurt feelings. You're walking around bitter. Jen, you are bitter. You need therapy. You need therapy. And it goes to show you that you will do anything, whatever it takes, to really just get on the good side and good graces of Evelyn Lozada. Why else would you have an issue with OG? Christian is not your real friend, child. Y'all may live in the same city, but you and her are not real friends. So the fact that you feel like you have Jen, you shouldn't have came back this season. You should have stayed. You're bitter behind home. The thing about it is right now is that I think that everybody in the rest of America would have gladly paid for you to be on unemployment. We don't want to see you at all. We don't care about what you're going through at all. You have been so nasty. And the thing about it is too, is that you were trying to act like you were this zen type person when you first came back and rejoined the cast, and you reconciled with Evelyn, and Tammy was like, child, if you only knew the things that she was saying. And now we're seeing the bitter side of you. We're seeing the nasty side of you. You're nasty. You have a very nasty attitude. You showing up with a mask after OG cooks you breakfast, talking about you ain't going to talk because you don't have a voice, and it's all about OG. Girl, bye. It could be all about OG, but one thing is definitely not. It is about you. Girl, bye. Child, Jen, I just don't understand why you're there. You are a prop. At least Christian is a token. You are a prop. An extra. I don't even know why you're there. So anyway, Christian in Malaysia goes over to talk to OG, and they're trying to get to the bottom of it. And just like she did the first time, Christian went and tried to come up with a plan of how the way that they were going to approach her, they were going to talk to OG. Well, it didn't work the first time because you went in there asking her questions. So the fact that y'all went in and the very first thing is, why do you feel that there's a colorist issue or colorism is going on, or this how the way that you feel? And OG starts crying. And it's like, y'all are trying to make her out to be this villain. Y'all trying to say, okay, well, it's messed up that she felt that there was a colorist issue going on, but look how terrible of a person that she is. So don't like her because she's a terrible person. And that's the narrative that you guys are trying to spin. And it's not okay. I agree with how the way OG feels, saying that it took them a year and a half to address her and talk to her, and that she doesn't feel that that them coming and talking to her is genuine, because the real issues and the real problems stem with Shawnee O'Neal and Evelyn Lozada. And so you going over there, yes, you are, you did perpetrate that colorist issue, calling her aggressive, calling her ugly, doing all these things, Malaysia and Christian. But the thing about it is that the way that Evelyn just went off on her, it just was on a different level. And the way that And the fact that Shawnee continues to try to protect Evelyn, regardless of how bad her behavior is. Regardless of how bad her behavior is, you guys are continuing to protect her and try to spin like, okay, well, even though that we did, say some colorist things, we did put her in a group of aggression of an angry black woman. Look, she's not likable. Y'all are crazy. Y'all are horrible. Dark skin is always labeled aggressive. Unfortunately, yes, because as soon as you get mad, if you're a dark-skinned woman, because I know this plight, I know how the way it feels to not be in a position to be able to voice your opinion with having some type of anger. You gotta hold down how the way that you feel. Dark-skinned women are not allowed to express themselves with passion behind their voice. They're not allowed. And the first thing that is going to be said is that you're dark. Child, look at her. Like she aggressive. She's a mad black woman. It's crazy. It's crazy. Dark-skinned women are put in a box and always labeled aggressive, even when they are proven to not be wrong. Well, your tone is terrible. Oh, you should have said it this way. You should have said it that way. I mean, really? We're not allowed to say we don't like you. We got to say, oh, I don't like you that much. Oh, you'll call us fake if we talk like that. If we talk like Jen, we're not black enough. We're trying to be Valley girls. But if we stand up in strength and with power, then it's something else. We're aggressive. So anyway, let me move on. So they weren't able to really get anywhere with the conversation with OG because OG immediately called them out. Once those tears dried up, she called a spade, and she said it. You guys are talking to her because you could not handle the backlash of the things that you went through last season. You guys couldn't take the backlash. And that's the only reason why you're talking to her. The only reason that you're talking to her. Child, we see in the further episodes, that they're flashing forward, that everybody is turning against OG, including her fake friend Jackie. She has no friends on that show. Like I said in my previous video, once Tammy Roman left, all her friends were gone. This is so sad. It's sad that we gotta live in a society that people are not allowed to talk because they look a certain type of way. They're not allowed to speak with authority because they're a certain complexion, because they're darker. Whole bunch of cowards, every last one of you. You sitting up here, as much stuff that you did to people, Evelyn, you sitting here crying all the time, talking about what you've been through. You know how many people that you've embarrassed publicly? You've made shirts about sleeping with a married man. You've done so many different things to people on that show, embarrassed them, beat them, threw bottles at them. And all of a sudden, you're a victim. And she did not throw not one punch. The only thing that she did was use her mouth and use her words. You have fought so many people. Did y'all forget when she threw that bottle at that lady? I forgot her name. What is her name? I forgot her name. Because the girl called her a hoe. But you blatantly call somebody ugly and all these different things and put up emojis trying to say it wasn't about her because you didn't say her name. And then the thing about it is like, too, nobody's talking about this. Evelyn went to her abuser to try to throw and make OG look terrible. She went so low that she went back to her abuser to try to make one person that she did not like, one person that she thought was ugly, out to be this certain type of individual. And you are an abuse victim, but it's okay for you to reach out to your abuser to try to make somebody else look bad. Let's talk about that. Nobody wants to talk about the fact that she reached out to Chad Ochocinco. It's more than one time he beat me. Talking to what is her name? Imani Van Zap. Oh no. The Evan Zap woman. I forgot. I can't think of her name because I'm always thinking about Amani and Van Zap, the personality that's now popular all over social media. But she went out so far to try to bring this girl down that she went back to the very person that gave her stitches in her head and left a permanent mark on her face. That's what you did. That's the extremes that you went to in order to try to make OG look bad. But you're a victim. You scream victim of domestic violence, but just as long as I'm not trying to get back with him. I'm just trying to get some information from him. Nobody wants to talk about that. I just can't. Like, you're a victim. You cry. Oh, this person is just bad. You're scared for your life. And, this girl, people have literally walked in the room not knowing if that you were going to attack them. People have literally walked in the room to collect a paycheck, not knowing if you would escalate in violence. Because you didn't know how to use your words. You wanted to always use your fists. But now all of a sudden you're a victim. Go stop it. Anyway, I'm going to end this live. I got to talk about life after lockup. And I'm going to do another video on the stimulus. So I'm going to be doing that shortly. I will be up in probably about 5 minutes. I need to take a drink of water and cool down because I'm over this whole situation of Basketball Wives and how they're just trying to make this situation about OG just being a terrible person and not really talking about the hurt that they caused and the pain that they inflicted on this woman. No, OG is not completely guilt. She's not guilt-ridden from ever using her words. Like OG's words are lethal. But y'all were terrible by just using everything that is socially wrong and associate those social things that is used against dark-skinned women. All right, you guys. I'll talk to you next week about Basketball Wives, but I got to end this live. I've been talking for more than 30 minutes. I didn't want to. So hopefully we'll talk about them next week. Ciao.